if you're Nathan and Fabiola and you just started RV life, maybe a little bit, I would say.
A little bit overboard. We jumped right into boondocking because that's sort of our dream in the long run. But we wanted to sort of experience the RV a little bit more, so we're at an RV park.
With full hookups.
Yes.
Full hookups. Although we don't need the energy because here we have a plenty of sky space, so we can use our solar at the fullest. In today's video, we're gonna give you all a tour of RV.
Tour of the inside. Yeah.
Before, we need to get some projects done.
True. Yeah.
Because with the boondocking life, we can't get anything done. Yeah. Because we're trying to survive.
My project box got bigger and bigger and bigger, so let's try and get some of those out.
Yeah, so let's check these projects first.
We want to add these cool gates. You probably have seen them online already, but they're another way of hooking up to the sewer lines to have an extra protection right before the cap, because sometimes it leaks like a little bit of like the kitchen water or whatever, and so you have to try to catch it with a hose. So instead we're going to use this, so there's a lot less of that. So we're going to hook this up and then also run the permanent, for the next month, sewer hose up to the thing and use our super cool little ladder thing. And eventually actually want to get a Y splitter and have two of them, but for now we just have one. But so then here's the idea. This hooks onto the thing and then you pull it and now it's extra little safety. So this is going to be on the end when we're done. We just push this in and that adds an extra layer of protection. So there's only going to be this space here and stuff might collect in the back, but then it's just this before the cap on the end. So before you install it, there's actually this little pin to help hold the whole thing on. And so we'll want to pull this out. And then when we put it on, we'll put this pin back in and that'll help keep this on. This thing also rotates on its own. And so you can keep this where you want it to be. So we want to pull it where it's going to be to the side. So we're going to line this up, making sure we don't catch the actual lid. And actually what we want is the pin that we're going to have to put the thing into, which is in this one, to be accessible still. So I'll put it, and then this thing's over here. So I'll put that on this side. So look for where the little hole is on this one. And then we're going to put this here and then make sure we don't hole into that thing and then lock that in. So now that's in its spot. We'll take this little pin and then it goes back behind, back into here. And that just keeps it from flying out, because if you're rotating this one, you might end up rotating the whole thing, which is not what you want. Here's the example. So we'll open this up and then that's where all this stuff will come up. But right now I have it closed, and then this guy will come out back and we'll be able to close this up. So the whole thing does rotate. Oh, I see, the whole thing just rotates. Okay, well.
Don't you need to tie the screw?
No, it's not coming off. It's just that this thing actually can rotate on its own. So that's okay. And that's it. This is how it'll be when we travel, and now we'll hook up the hose.
Now installing the second one in our second tank. Same step, easy peasy.
Okay, locked in. And then this pin goes on this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
And then this door goes back. Stuck on something now. I see. This is here.
That seems awesome. Should I already come with this?
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Yeah. And then
I was not expecting that.
It's the first time using it, so I don't really know if it's. I didn't know it was not gonna happen. Okay. So this one I need to have this side and this side. So we'll open this back up, and then actually the whole thing sort of rotates on its own. So we'll, you have to hold it, I guess. And then this guy is a support structure for this. Run all the way over there. We might need actually both hoses. We'll see.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Okay.
So the idea is this hose is connected all the time, and then every time we want to flash, we just need to open the valve.
We open the valve, push the button.
Yeah, might be a lot of bugs coming out of this way.
Maybe do a connector. And then like this. Ta-da!
Stable?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll open this guy, turn
will
on
press the button. Which
gray
one?
a little bit.
That's the black. Oh, gray.
Gray a little bit.
Nothing leaking.
That's good. Switch to black.
Fine.
Although the black's not really full, but we can just adjust it.
Let's do it.
Why not?
You just arrived yesterday, so there's not much the shower is kind of full.
I took long showers. I was enjoying the RV park in full hookups. I think black's empty. So then you turn off black, turn on gray.
That means that I can take a long shower today.
Right, exactly. The second thing on our list is adding some auto shut-off valves onto our propane tanks. They already have gauges built in, but the neat thing about these tools is that if it detects a leak, it'll actually shut itself off just in case there's some leak in the system. So the first thing I do is make sure that there's no propane in the lines. So I close both propane tanks and run the stove to make sure that it's all burned up. Then I disconnect and attach the auto shut-off gauge. One of the tank's built-in gauges is actually on the wrong side of the thing, so I have to use my phone to be able to see it. We have two 30-pound propane tanks, and so I'll do the same to the other side, which is a little bit easier to use because the gauge is facing towards the door. One more project crossed off the list.
This project is the most difficult one. It's just remove the battery protection and put it under the sink.
Easy peasy. The last project on the list is adding a better water flow regulator and adding quick connects to all of the hoses and everything. Once you put in the water flow regulator, you need to use a screwdriver to adjust how much of a pressure you want to have in there. From what I saw online, it seemed like 50 is what I want to use, so I changed the little dial to be 50. After getting everything set up, there was a small little leak that I couldn't stop from the water flow regulator. So I actually ended up moving it outside by the pump instead of inside.
Project's done. I mean, some of the projects, because this project's never finished. But now it's time to check our RV from inside. So let's go check it out. So this is our Brinkley RV 50-wheel 3515 Model Z. Immediately when we got in, you can see this beautiful living space. And here we have our amazing kitchen. And here's an interesting thing. I have nothing to complain about it. Exactly nothing. Do you have anything to complain about it, Nathan? I don't
Probably.
have anything.
I'll think about it.
I don't have anything to complain about it. I mean, mainly because I don't do dishes. Nathan does dishes, so I don't have to complain about that.
Actually.
Yeah. So let's start through here. So here's our kind of coffee medicine cabin-ish. So here we have some meds, coffee, tea. I like to keep my fruits in here. We have all these doors with soft close, I guess is how it's saying, right? Mm-hmm. Soft close.
Yeah, soft close.
I don't know, what I know is good for me.
Because she typically doesn't close things, so it's nice that they close on their own.
Oh, we're gonna be telling people our stuff, huh?
We're honest. We're.
All right then. Okay, I can play that game. All right, game on. Soft closed doors. Amazing because we have all this energy plugs. Oh, I think it's called outlets.
Yeah, outlets.
Outlets here. And here's my beautiful pine tree. I always wanted to have one in my entire life, so that's very good. And there is automatic lights on it. The Starlink is right down there.
Stuff up here, and then we have our Starlink hangs out down here in the corner.
Yes.
And it runs through. And we actually have a connector that goes into the pass-through.
This part.
Which goes all the way up to the roof and so on.
Yep.
Very handy.
And here we have my bread machine, actually Nathan's bread machine, my favorite air fryer, Instant Pot, and then I also put these things here to keep this organized. It was really handy. It's common hook. So not common hook, is common hook is how to say it.
Oh no, I guess command strips.
Command strips, that's the name.
Because it's not a hook.
When we're done, we just pull this theoretically.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
In like a year or something, if we want to remove.
How's the words?
Theoretically.
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 Theoretically. All right, we're gonna wait until that one a year ago when we try to pull this thing. But that word is supposed to work. Yeah. So it's here, so we don't need to be dealing with this thing around. And is the cool thing about this pine tree is that we have this shelf here in the front, so help prevent the stuff to not fall in. But don't let this fool you, because on travel day, all of this is gonna come down. So anyway, you need to organize everything for travel day. But now we are stationed out with full hookups. Yay! All right, here we have our residential fridge, which is beautiful. We have the froze part here and the cold part here. I mean, it's a little bit organized, but could be better organized, but it's our fridge. It's pretty good, pretty handy, especially for me and Nathan. Right here we have this amazing countertop with the stove and this thing. I got so overexcited. So more drawers and space. Microwave, beautiful, works perfectly. And inside of this, under this microwave, we also have a vent. So when I'm cooking, I use this vent and the other vent on top, so we don't get this entire RV covered on moisture and air. All right, so here's our stove. So one quick note about the stove. Come close. Look at that, we have these stains in here. Look at that, the color is coming out. So we don't know what is this about. I did not use any crazy products in this stove. I just cleaned following exactly the instructions, so we don't know what's going on. And if you're not a subscriber yet to this channel, please make sure to subscribe, because we're putting together a lot of small and big problems that we find out in our RV with a month of being using. So please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. One of my favorite things in this kitchen, yay! This is amazing! Look at this, it's all beautiful, organized. I really love this. I like very much this part. So right here, I bet everybody knows. Here's my glasses stuff. If you're new to this channel, you don't know what I'm talking about, in our first travel day, all these plates was hanging here. I'm gonna leave the video link so you can watch that and lose your mind. One is the bottom, oh I see. The bottom spot stopped the first plate.
Oh, that's good.
And then the other ones came on top. Continue here, we have this amazing sink. Look at that. And we can have two types of things. And it,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't do dishes.
It's very handy for boondocking. Because then you can leave it, you have to keep one hand on the thing, but then you can wash dishes and hold it down and not have to keep on turning on and off.
That's very good.
Very handy.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
And there's hot water in both things, so that's cool. In Brazil, I mean, most of the houses doesn't have hot water in the sink, so it's actually super cool. Other thing that I like very much is the garbage. It's actually hiding here. Don't show everything inside of our garbage, but it's here. And we have this paper thing here, which I like it. Being honest, I don't ever take off here. You could if you want to like use around, but for me it's just so practical that I keep here. But it's good to have the option if you want to like take off or something like that. And oh, I have been using a lot the oven. Is how it's called, the oven. I have been using a lot. It's pretty good. Works very well. The only problem is when you're gonna turn it on, you need to kind of hold this thing, and it's like and you need to hold and wait a little bit, but then it works just fine. So it's a very functional kitchen. We are here all the time. I love to cook. We cook here every day, all the time. So it's kind of like very handy. I also like this window here in the back. It's very beautiful and makes the whole thing looks bigger and more spacious. And close to our kitchen is our live room space, desk, dining thing, area, integration place. And you probably are wondering, where is our TV? It's right here, under this thing. Isn't this cool? I think this is awesome. So we have an elevator TV, so it's called Televator. And here's how she came out. And we have this window in the back, so if you want to just be watching the nature or whatever you're seeing in the back, you can. Or you can wait 3 minutes and have your television. It's less than that, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's like 30 seconds.
Oh, before I put it out all the way, over here we have all the cables, so if you want to connect like cables and stuff, we can just connect through here, which is very cool. And here, continue with this button. I feel super cool doing this. I don't mind. I like it very much. I think it's amazing. Here we have our fire pit, which is really beautiful and handy. We have been using them a lot because we're not in a cold space yet. And here, again, more space, board games, because we love board games. Here, more space with more games because we like games. So it's all here. And then we have this door. And I'm gonna show you guys at the end. Alright, so stay to the end of this video if you wanna see what's behind this door. Probably a lot of you guys know already, but we're gonna keep a little bit suspense. for that one. Okay, here's our how it's called?
It's a fold-out, that's a good
Couch.
question. Yeah, it's a small couch.
Okay.
Love seat, maybe.
It's a couch bed.
Love seat, yeah.
Couch bed.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put a
Well, because it folds out in 3 when it folds out.
Oh.
So it's a tri-fold couch, I guess.
All right. Okay, couch bed. So it's right here. Comes with this piece of supposed to be an animal, I guess, like a cow. I don't know, a bear.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but this is fancy, isn't it? I think
a polar bear.
A polar bear. It's like a fancy thing, I guess. I don't know what to do with this yet, so I'm kind of like keeping here. And we have our bears that Nathan gave to me. This mirror, lots of lights. This is so cool. Lots of lights everywhere. And right here we have this super cool window. And there is a famous blinds that Brinkley has, which is all the way dark. And also on the other side, there's a reflection. So if the sun hits, reflects back, help to cool down the RV. And if you want, you can have this other one. It's kind of like a shade. And if you don't want any, there is our net. So I can open this window and the bugs theoretically not gonna get in.
But they do, so if we look real close, there's actually a little bit of a gap there. So I think that's potentially how sometimes they get in, which is why we actually have this wonderful bug thing, which collects the bugs pretty well. There's still some bugs that go around, but because it's camping, I don't know.
There's no way to be away from the bugs, so they exist and we need to live with them.
Yeah.
So, hi bugs. Maybe, sometimes. Okay, right here we have this, how it's called?
The ottoman, the wonderful ottoman.
Yes, right here we have the wonderful ottoman. We use this a lot, because you can use this as a coffee table. So we like to hang out in our fancy theater's seat. I love this. I feel so good about this. All right, we work hard a lot. We work a lot hard in our life, and having all of this is an achievement, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's an achievement. So I feel good about it because we work hard and we pay for it and we are living here and it's awesome.
One complaint I do have about the chairs, so you're asking about the kitchen. I don't have any for the kitchen, but the buttons for the heated seats on this thing are very easy to bump.
Oh, I can't believe you destroyed my emotional moments.
Sorry, go ahead.
With your complaining.
When you sat down, I was like, oh, don't bump the heated seats.
Usually for me, I don't have this problem.
When I'm sitting down, it's pretty easy for me right now. Maybe it's a different. I'm trying to think of when somehow all the time I end up bumping. These buttons are very sensitive. So right now I'm pushing on it, but if I just sort of like go against it, and then I guess it's maybe when I'm sitting down. So if it's off and I'm sitting down and I happen to brush against it, there we go. See, now it's heated seats, and so I'm sitting here watching the TV. I'm like, it's so warm in here. I'm sweating. I'm like, my butt's too warm, and I realize, oh, the heated seats are on there. We're wasting electricity. And it's too warm.
With me, it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen with me. Though.
2 complaints.
Yeah. The other one, 2 complaints. The list is getting bigger.
The other one is that I'm a big dude, and so it's a little bit small. And so right now it's fine with clearance, but if I am actually reclined and I'm back here, my head is against this guy. And so I need to, I can't go back too fast, otherwise I'll hit my head on the window. and there's one time I was over here actually, and I hit it on this thing. To open it. So you have to be a little careful with your head. Third complaint about these chairs is that sometimes the plugs for all this stuff is behind all of this, and these are very attached. And so to be able to, sometimes on travel day, these things will become unplugged. And so it's a little bit tricky. Luckily I have long arms, but trying to plug everything back in is a little bit challenging, but I've done it. It works. But so that's the third complaint, is that they become unplugged. The next part where I spend a lot of my time is my office. It's dual purpose. So the main purpose of this section is my office. So I have my laptop, my Mac Mini, and this is where I do all my programming. It works really well for the space. And the one thing, I'm using a rolling chair. So one thing I have to sort of be careful is that there's a lip here. So I don't want to have it like this, where I'm putting all my weight down on this thing. And so there's a slide seam here. And so if I'm right on that, I sort of worry that this thing will sort of push down, because I notice some indents sometimes. But I usually just try to stay like that. So this is a dinette desk. It has some cool name. I think that's the name of it. And so this thing is right here. This actually comes out all the way here, and we don't, because we have our office chairs. So we actually don't use these too much, and so we have one stored here and one stored in the other room that you'll find out about later. But this one's really nice. We actually played some board games on here. Works pretty well. We have some pretty complicated board games, so we run out a little bit of a space, but we kind of use, over there.
And then under this thing, we have our utensils.
Our utensils are here.
Yeah.
So you can't come out all the way when it's all the way open, but it actually slides easy. But so here is our utensils. Works pretty well.
Yeah, it's very easy to handle this table. I thought it might be difficult to use, but it's not that bad.
And then right now it's in this position, and so you just have to pull this pin, and it will slide out this way. And I think if I keep, this chair's a little bit big, then you can slide it over, and it will lock in place, and now it's in this position. And so then you could have, so if you're doing board games, this is my recommendation, this configuration. So then you can bring this out. You can have potentially 4 people playing board games, as long as there's enough space for whatever board game.
Or having dinner.
Or dinner, I guess. We eat at the Ottoman and the theater seating.
Yeah.
But I guess in theory you could also have dinner here too.
So funny, we don't use the dining table for dinner. We use for board game and work.
And the main reason is actually the TV. So I like to watch TV while I eat. And so you have to be sitting on this side, and it's at a weird angle, and then your faucet is
in the front of you.
So that's something else to consider. This is where we control everything, here and down here. We'll show up here first. So this is the stuff that comes with the Brinkley. We have all of our tanks. In this, we actually have 5 tanks. We have the fresh water. Right now we're on full hookup, so it's empty. We have the black tank, which is lying. It's not really full. We have, these 2 are combined, actually. This is for the shower and the bathroom sink. And so they're combined tanks together. And then we have the 5th tank, which is for the kitchen. So whenever we use the sink here, that fills up that tank. We can control all of our lighting on the outside and the inside, awning lights, underbelly, these ones. This one I actually really like to use on the outside because it just sort of like lights underneath the RV. It's kind of cool. This is the scare light, so this is motion sensor off the back. And then these are some of the inside lights that we have on inside of here. If we are using our water tank, we would use the water pump. And then if it's cold, we would use the heater. We can control the awnings that come in and out. They don't like the wind, and so we actually don't use these too often. And then this is where we do all of our slides. Here is the Max Air, that's for the kitchen. And then this one, I actually don't know, this one came with the place, and we've replaced all the batteries. So this is probably
No, we didn't replace that one, babe. That battery's still there.
This one, I think we replaced the battery that came with the place.
No, it's still there. The solar guys say that they keep the battery that came with the place.
Okay, all right, well there you go.
Yep.
So this one is the one battery that's for like the fridge and stuff that's fueled by the other batteries. Mm-hmm. And this is the lights that I didn't mean to turn off. This is the ceiling lights. And then this is where the even more magic happens. Honestly, all these things we actually control in 2 different apps. And so I don't actually have to go to these too often because we have an app for this and we have an app for all that. So this here is for our solar stuff. If you've already seen that video, you might have seen this some before. So right now we're on shore power and we're actually full on batteries. So it's pulling in some and it's pulling in a little bit of solar, but not very much because we don't have a lot of things running right now because we're recording, so the AC's off. But when the AC's on, or if we turn off shore power, then we'd be pulling in a bunch of solar. And the solar right now, it's kind of a warm, sunny day. So it actually might be enough to run at least one of the 2 AC units. Down here we have our breaker box. And so here's all the different breakers. This one's off. I'm not even sure what that is. I've never touched this yet. So everything's been working great otherwise. And then over here on the bottom, we have our fuse box, which I've also never had to touch, thankfully. So if one of the fuses broke, we would have to find one and then replace that. We also have a humidity check and temperature check. So right now we're actually way too humid, so we need to run the AC. We have a dehumidifier, it's turned off, AC unit turned off for the recording. But so it's a little bit humid in here, Florida, I don't know. But what's cool about this one is there's an app, so you can check.
Actually, we're really bad right now. We're wet.
Yeah, we're really wet. Yeah. We definitely need to run some of these dehumidifiers.
We have a tiny dehumidifier here that works pretty well, and our AC right here is also a dehumidifier fryer and works really well.
There's also an app that you can use on your phone to set notifications so that it would alarm you if it's too humid, which it totally is. Now it's 81.
It's increasing more and more. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's your hands.
It's probably my hands, actually.
Your hands is humidifying.
I'm very warm right now. I'm from Michigan, so I'm not really used to all this shit. I like the face. The wet. Can you see that?
Yeah, the face is
like
sad.
a face like.
But usually we try to keep in the 40s.
Yeah, usually it's like 40 or 45 or something, because we usually run the dry cycles on all the units.
All right, let's go now to the bedroom and bath. What are you looking at? I'm in the bathroom. So here's the bathroom. We have a full-size shower. It's really amazing. I can just easily use this, shave my legs, shower, wash my hair here, so it's pretty good. We have all these things here. This thing came with the Brinkley, so it's actually attached in a travel day. We don't need to move any of that. It's pretty good. A little complaint is this glass is very difficult to clean, and they collapse each other, so it's kind of tough to clean this thing, I would say. All right, over here we have our sink, 2 different lights, a vent on top, cabinet stuff to put our beautiful beauty products, lots of drawers, all with a soft closed, I guess. Here's where we put our towels. Here we have our water heater control, more products, super easy to close. Here we have our towels, things hanging there. Toilet, which is very cool for those who never seen one, like me for the first time. The flash thing is in the side, so you just do this, and then you flash your RV. It's awesome. Or the toilet. It's pretty good. And we have here this magnetic thing on the side. So in the travel, it's very strong, as you all can see. Travel days, this thing doesn't move, but most of the other stuff we kind of like need to take out. Otherwise, they go flying around. Let's go to the bedroom now. First thing I want to mention is that I add these things to the door. Look at that. So we can hang our stuff in here because we're an RV. So everything you can do to gain space, it's good. And here we have this beautiful window. Again, with the same thing about the shades. Awesome. This window you can open like this. But here comes another little complaint. There's nothing to stop this because it's an emergency exit. If anything happened, I guess we do this, take the window out and remove the net. I don't know, but we're supposed to jump out of this.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess you just push it. I guess the net just comes out.
And install. So we're supposed to try to survive jumping in the floor, maybe broken a leg and an arm, but...
Well, yeah, it's better than burning, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe we should have an axe in here and a knife so we can like...
I think it's a ladder.
We should have a ladder.
I think the hardest part is that it's a weird small window. I think it'll be hard to get out.
I think you can fit in here.
If there's a fire, I'll just jump out and break my leg. It's fine.
But don't go to your head. You might need to go like legs first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we don't need to do that. But just in case, it's there. Here we have our beautiful dresser and our not too heated storage, which I save all my stuff. I'm not gonna show you guys because it's hidden. Right? Here we have this thing that is amazing to collect dust and have some decor stuff like we have. Here's our laundry bin. We are with the full hookups and there's a laundry place, so we don't need to worry about laundry. Another cool thing I did is I went to the dollar store and then I bought this stuff. So I like to wear a lot of tank tops, so they're all organized in here and right here. And this space here, I have this light, is a prep for wash and dryer. So if you want to have one wash and dryer, we are ready for it. And there's a lot of outlets in here also. So it's very, very, very good. I love it. Here we have our beautiful bed. I don't know if everybody noticed, but we don't have a king bed. We have a queen, which fits perfect for me and Nathan. And this gives him a little bit extra space in the side, so he don't need to go in the side to get in the bed. So you can just walk here. Here we have more shelves to collect dust. To decoration, right? We have Nathan's stuff here to press charging. I have my frame with my family, Nathan's family. I also use this with the command strip. So theoretically, it will just come out eventually
Okay.
in the future. So this thing's there. And then we need to attach this again.
I was gonna say, technically you're supposed to pull from the bottom up.
Oh, I did
But
the
I
opposite.
guess it works okay. All right, cool. We haven't removed that yet, so I'm glad it works.
Now it works.
So one thing I like with this dust collector over here is that we have, there's a plug right here. And so I'm able to plug in our electric toothbrushes and charge them here. Because trying to fit them in the bathroom is just not worth it.
Our queen bed is super nice. Actually, we were very worried about the mattress, but turns out that this mattress is just pretty good. At least I have nothing to complain, Nathan.
Yeah, I don't either. And I would say it's great.
Great.
Yes.
All right, so this bed is great.
What's nice is it's firm enough because we actually like kind of like soft but firm mattress.
Yeah.
And so it works really well, actually.
Yeah, works really well. And we have a mattress protection in here. But yeah, really well. And plenty of space under here. In the side of our bed, because it's a queen, we also have this super cool storage here. Look at that. We can put all of our miscellaneous stuff in there, hiding. I like to keep my books in here.
Actually pretty deep.
Chargers.
Lots of space.
It's really deep and it's fun. We have 2 windows with the same idea of the blinds. In the morning, this room is just dark. Just dark. This shelf, super cool. Lights. Just like full bedroom.
Good cop, bad cop. So one complaint I have, I'm just a complainer in this episode, is that this thing here, yeah, don't actually like fully demonstrate it, but it's actually the back. So this thing in the back, it likes to, if you have it open, it sucks in the cables and then it gets stuck.
Yep.
So that's, you have to keep track, especially on my side, because I have a long cable. So mine, if you open it up, it falls in and then it ends up getting stuck. So be careful with your cables.
Said.
I said be careful with your cables.
No, you need to say, where is she? She disappeared.
Oh, okay. Be careful with your cables.
I'm
no,
locked.
I know, that's the funny part. Hold on. Be careful with your cables. Hey, where is she?
I can't open the door. I'm locked.
Which is really funny. So if you keep in mind, if you go into the closet and you close the doors on yourself, you'll be locked in because these things here are open from the outside, not the inside. So if you have a clever idea about how you want to appear in the episode, keep that in mind.
It's supposed to be a funny thing.
It is funny. It's hilarious. And I thought about that. I was thinking when you went in there for this plan, I was like, she might lock herself in there if she doesn't think this through.
Oh my god. I was like, no way, how I get out?
Because they latch from the outside.
Just like from outside, all right.
So don't lock yourself in, everybody.
Yeah, don't do it. But it's a big closet.
Yeah,
all of that was to demonstrate that was a big closet.
Yeah.
And we have a light. I guess you all got the message, right? All right, let's go now check the mysterious door in the live room. Let's go. And over here, under the steps, we have this open space which we can store our shoes. Eventually, later, I wanted to put like a drawer or maybe a shelf. I don't know, we'll see later. But it's pretty good space to store shoes. All right, here's the super good space called Fabiola's Cave, or my office. So here's where I work, and I spend most of the time. I asked Nathan, do you want to fight for the office? He didn't want to.
Yeah, she was actually, we had the idea of like taking turns, but to move all of the office and she's in more meetings than I am. And so I think it works better. So
here's my setup. Our board games being used as a standing for the computing. Here we have a lot of space, plenty of doors, more space, lights on top, a lot of outlet things. We have the super cool thing to attach our stuff in here. And then also, the good thing is, this is a standing desk. Actually, I don't know, but for me, if I work like around 10 to 12 hours sitting down on computing. So for me, having a standing desk was like definitely what made me fall in love with this RV. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Yeah, this room is why we were gonna do the 3100, but then we ended up, this model came out and then it was actually perfect because we were trying to fit 2 office spaces in the other one. Yeah. So then this one having a dedicated office space with a standing desk also. Because she had a standing desk in our apartment. Yeah,
But then she was gonna have to give it up for moving into an RV.
So right here we have Nathan's computing, which he never turned on. So we'll see, maybe one day he's gonna decide to play his games again. He might use it, who knows, but we'll see. And we also have a prep for wash and dryer. So if you decide to have a wash and dryer, we can have it right there. And guess what? We have an extra door over here. So we have this extra door with these tiny steps. And it's very good and handy also. If anything happened, we have a second place to escape, so we might not need to jump out of the bedroom bedroom window. So that was a tour of our house.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe. And if you have any other tips or things to tell us about an organization.
Yeah, if you have some better organization stuff that we didn't think about, let us know.
I bet there's some there.
Yeah.
Because we just started, so we still have a lot of things to fix it and like improve. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe on our channel.
Yeah, and there are a couple things that have some issues, and so we're gonna have those fixed in future episodes. So don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching.
I was like, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. All right.
All right.
All right.